Good evening, everyone. My name's Janika, and I'm going to be speaking about when they can't use you anymore. But before we start that, I'm going to start this off with a little something I believe that will be able to encourage me and you both. So I'm going to start off by playing the song. Trouble don't last always. Trouble don't last always. Tell them, y'all. Trouble don't last always. Okay. Now, as I was mentioning before, when they can't use you anymore, I'm going to be speaking specifically in reference to my situation, because who's better to use than self? I don't know anyone else's situation, but I do know mine. I always acknowledge my faults and wrongs first, because I've not always been, you know, I'm just going to say I've had my points in life where I've been foolish. But at some point, you mature and you learn the rules of life. Meaning, whichever measures you use will be measured back to you. I've learned the severity of life. I've learned everything I've done, meaning taking people for granted, call myself being sneaky, even though I wasn't being sneaky, because God still seen me. Disobedient, talking back, cheating, whatever it is, or whatever it was. Thinking I was better than people. Well, let me just tell you something. Everything I did, it happened back to me. I thought when I was growing up, I was the prettiest thing walking, had the nicest clothes, everything. Didn't know no better. If you weren't up to par, I wasn't dealing with you. And that's foolish. It's stupid. And I didn't know how much sadness and grief I created for other people. People I didn't even know, or didn't even recognize I heard it until it happened to me. Well, let's just go back 2 years ago. God stripped me of everything. When I say everything, I mean clothes, house, identity, looks, beauty, clothes, whatever it is you name. And those same persons, when I was up, were the same people who didn't even deal with me when I was down. Do you know how bad that hurt me? I said, Father, when you give me strength to get one toe off the ground, I would never in my life make another person feel little. It hurt me so bad. It hurt me to the point to where I didn't even want to come outside no more. Every time I came outside, Janika, you on crack? Janika, where your hair at? Janika, why you look like that? But see, they didn't understand. It was personal. God said, how far in humility will you go? See, I couldn't explain it then, what I was going through. Because, see, I had to understand. I knew, but I couldn't tell y'all because it was personal. Every person I belittled, every person I talked about, he put me in that same position. He put me in that same position, but I was wise enough to know that what goes around comes around. Those are called forms of karma. At 35 years old, you cannot pay me to fix my mouth to say nothing about nobody in a situation, because when the shoe is on my foot, I can't deal with it. So when I tell you that, I'm saying that to tell you this. Now, I was wise enough to know that if all those things I did, and he put me in the same situation to recognize how I made someone else feel, I'm not holding another adult well, I'll say, I don't give another adult a benefit of a doubt, because if he made me understand, I know you know what you're doing. I know you know what you're doing. So therefore, I say, let me try something. I said, let me change my attitude, because a small word will take a person a long way. But when I changed my attitude, the more dumber and stupider they became. I say, now, Father, you said treat these people accordingly and you'll handle the rest. I thought by me treating them good, you just gonna make it be all good. These folks ran me in the ground. Do you hear me? They still talk about me, tell me I'm crazy, I ain't gonna be nothing. And it's my family. Do y'all know how that hurt me? I said, alrighty then. I said, I know what to do with this. I'm gonna pray a little bit harder. And do you know, the more I prayed, the more stupider they got? I said, now, Father, I know this ain't right. Father, you say, pray for these people. The more I pray for them, the crazier they got. And I said it to say this. Don't nobody care about you. You have to be wise enough to know when enough is enough. Y'all get it twisted and confused because people your family. Family is the worst people to hurt you. And you be so blind to it because you love them people, and you wouldn't even imagine that it'll be them. Oh, but it's them. I say, well, you know what, Father? I'm going to continue to pray for those people. But the love I'm trying to give them, I'm going to start putting back into myself. Do you know when I put the love in myself, they did a whole 360 on me? They left me alone like I did something wrong. I say, now, Lord, ain't this something? I say, all the genuine love I tried to give them, they ain't want it, so I gave it back to myself. Oh, she acting funny. She doing this, she doing that. No,